news. Big Brother is watching. There's a nationwide push to start tracking where children are during school hours. They would basically be microchipped, kind of like a pet. ABC4 News wanted to know what parents in Utah think about the possible tracking system. The night team's Kimberly Nelson joins us now live in Salt Lake City. Kimberly, what are they saying?
Well, they're not excited about it, and here's the deal. Students who play hooky cost school districts money. So to recoup some of that money, they're taking those drastic steps, as you just mentioned. But parents we spoke with are outraged about what this could mean for our future. You may use it to get into secured buildings. And it's already embedded into most of your credit cards, being scanned every time you swipe. The technology is known as Radio Frequency Identification System, and it's soon going to be used at some schools across the country to track students' whereabouts.
Excuse me? They want to microchip my children? Like I do with my dog?
The apostles of great men stone. Shalom to all the brothers, them on the highway and byway doing the work of the Lord sincerely and in truth. This is Brother Shapar from James, Jamaica camp. Yeah, what I really want to get into today is the mark of the beast. And what really inspired me to do that sit down here today is a statement we need to make.
A radio frequency identification is meant as what? A GPS. To find location. Where's my dog? My sister wrote me and said, my dog has an R.F.I.D chip. I said, well, maybe he can go buy some land for you.
Now in this clip, basically I say the R.F.I.D chip is for a dog or some animal or pet of some sort. That when a master lose them pet, or for some reason the pet come up missing, or dog for instance, him say come up missing, you can say, where's my dog? Where's my pet? You know what I mean? So this to show you how ignorant and how zombified these members of IUIC are if you really follow this stupid doctrine, man. Because going back into slavery, the so-called slave master used to tag or mark his property just the same way like how he tag and mark a dog today. It was called a brand, man. So what am I going to do now? I'm going to read Revelation, the 13th chapter and the 16th verse. And here it goes. And he caused it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Now we're going to the word mark right here in the text. Hey, we know that Nate and his zombies are going to pull out them ear because of this now, because I'm saying, yo, we're going to Ebonics. You know what I mean? So, you know, we'll continue to go in and break down the words them or in the scripture, that we can get a perfect understanding or really take place, because these are Greek words, man, translated into English. So I guess so we need to know the essence of the word get translated into English, as what the elders them teach you how to break down the scriptures them, man, seeing that you can know what you're really reading and understand it. When this text was written, there was some importance that this word was placed in the text, man, because they have other words were basically translated as mark in the scriptures, where could have been in this text, man. Seeing they have other Greek words were translated in the English as mark, but could have been in this text, but it was important that this specific word was placed here in the text, man. What do you think is that? Saying that they can understand the essence of what mark the scripture actually was speaking about, which was a physical mark that was used upon possession, man. Saying and we're going to tie this in with the scriptures them. Saying concerning the mark today what people are going to receive, which is the mark of the beast, man, and how similar it is, man. Now, this word mark here, it comes from the Greek charagma, as I can see. You know what I mean? And the first definition is, it's a stamp, an imprinted mark. And if you look upon B down here, it's a brand upon horses. Now, as we say, we'll go back to the time of slavery, when the so-called white man used to mark slaves, man. See, or we must ID slaves basically, because this was an IDing process. You know what I mean? And I was skipping across the internet and, you know, I come up with some images from Google. Yeah? These are some images, you know what I mean, with slaves being brand. Just like what the word charagma mean, a stamp or imprinted mark. This is the stamp or imprinted mark slaves being received here and then as a form of identification or a form of IDing. See? And here's what interesting, because I pull up one of the image them and basically lead to a site basically going back to I think that it's a library of it's a library over there in the States, Columbus, Ohio. Yeah, I think. See? University of Virginia Library or something like that. See? So these are some images from the University of Virginia Library dealing with branding of slaves. And this is an excerpt, basically a comment. This is what it said. Enslaved being branded by a white man. Other African women presumably waiting to be branded. Blake used this illustration to depict the length to which slave traders would go in order to keep track of their merchandise. Now this is very important because Nate basically say a dog receive chip. That's a can track your dog and say, where is my dog? Where is, you know? You didn't go off on him rant. But this right here, slaves used to get a specific mark, which is a brand, an imprinted mark, a stamp. You know what I mean? To keep track. For the masters, them keep track of the merchandise. So the so-called slaves were merchandise of the so-called white man. See, and he mark them, he ID them. You know what I mean? With a stamp or imprinted mark using a branding iron. You know what I mean? And branding iron been used all the way back to the Roman Empire, man. See, so when the prophet John speak about the mark, which is charagma, see, he know directly what he was speaking about. Him speaking about a way of identifying slave men, because the branding iron was a way of a slave master show that this slave or this animal belonged to him. You know what I mean? In case the slave run away, you know what I mean? Although you used to brand for other reasons, you have different type of brand. You have brand to show ownership, brand to show that certain slave run away, or a certain slave steal other slave, or make other slave escape from out there. You also have an SS branding for the slave, because slave steal or something like that. You know what I mean? When you cause another slave to escape. So they have all different manner of brand, but the brand what you know is by ownership, man. When the master show you that owner, and as I said, you go back to all the way to the Roman Empire. Now, there's a significant reason why the prophet put the reason why the scripture of charagma instead of all the other word them in the Greek were mean mark. So it's very significant why charagma is there. See, because charagma was a physical mark that slaves get to track slave. See, so the whole thing about it, as the thing say right here, it said to keep track of their merchandise. This is why slaves used to be branded back in a slavery, man. See? So basically, see, it is a form of identification or IDing a so-called slave, man. See? Now, fast track back to this time around, this era. The way to get ID, the first piece of identification we receive is a birth certificate, man. That is the first piece of identification, because looking at branding a slave to the so-called white man, he evolved from that state, see, which him call a more primitive way of how to identify property, now to the certificate type identification, which was the birth certificate. See, because enough people have a birth certificate and not knowing that you've been traded. Your number, birth certificate number is being traded, and that system will mimic the marital and admiralty law system. See, that's how you receive a birth certificate. It was a certificate of manifest, per se. You know what I mean? But coming down to your birth certificate, it branches off in a different type of identification, such as a social security number. In Jamaica, we use the TRN, your driver's license, your passport, but all in the same. You know what I mean? A piece of document to identify you. See, but first, how you used to be identified, you also have a physical mark. That's if you run away. If you run away, see, you can be identified by a mark that you belong to this property or you belong to this master. You know what I mean? Or this master can come and claim you. As I say, you come to this modern era where you get a different form of identification, a different form of it's a document that shows that you are owned by a master. Same way, nothing different. See? But now moving from that, seeing these form of ID, men used to be the one who identify individual by looking at the document, whether it want to be a passport or your driver's license, see any form of ID of your birth certificate, your social security number, whatsoever come with information concerning you. See, you used to have men who monitor and look at it, just like once upon a time they used to go up to the hospital or anywhere and pull a physical file on you. You know what I mean? So that physical file now become a digital file. You know what I mean? So you need a digital way of identify people, so you come up with the R.F.I.D chip technology.
To everything that matters.
When your life and all you love are on the line.
HealthLink is always with you when every second counts in the emergency room, providing immediate access to your medical records.
Because Bob has trouble remembering all his medications.
Because I'm in love with my kids' kids.
Because my car lost control while driving.
Because now I'm looking out for both of us.
Because I have diabetes, but it doesn't have me.
Because I spend my life in the ER trying to save yours.
No, R.F.I.D technology is a technology now where they might use a smart card, or they want to be a bus card or whatsoever. You know what I mean? It's a more easier way to monitor and track individual, because people doing the monitoring, seeing is a slow and tedious process. So it needs to move on to a technological advanced way, which is a digital way where you use computerized systems, man, or have algorithms that can calculate every given aspect of a certain item or people. See, so this is what technology, what the so-called white man is bringing in right now, we require people to take a biometric survey where basically you give up your eye, your face, facial recognition, your voice recognition, your fingerprint, and all them compiled together to become one identity will identify you. You know what I mean? Couple with all the records them where you have, where you used to pull the physical docket, now it become a digital docket. So now this brand can be put on you, seeing wheresoever you go, because using papers or documents can be lost or stolen. You know what I mean? Or somebody using somebody else's one. So they need to put it on you, directly on you. So it come back round to you getting a physical mark again, but more sophisticated and more technological mark will show that somebody own you. See, all the information about you is on it. See, your freedom for the whatsoever the master deem fit, or your privilege to do what the master deem fit. See, is accessible on it like money. You know what I mean? So social services or whatsoever. This is the type of system where the so-called white man evolved from the physical brand to the paper documents to the digital era where you receive a silicon chip or a R.F.I.D chip, which is radio frequency identification. So that's what the whole mark of the beast is all about. And when we just mentioned all about the digital era and all the information that it go further back down in the world, which is another root from the word charagma, where we're going to characts. So, we show you the process of how you have to receive this brand or this mark. Then we go in a grapho, which comes from characts. Basically go in your written information. You know what I mean? The writings, basically, dealing with the writings. So if you keep in the records. You know what I mean? So this is what the essence of the word charagma is all about. Going into charagma, going into charax, going into grapho.
R.F.I.D chip. What does it stand for? Radio frequency identification. But wait a minute. Did that mention? Read it again.
And he causeth all both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
Go ahead.
And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark.
Stop. So the subject is, with this particular mark, you can't buy or sell. Can somebody tell me what a radio frequency chip has to do with that? A radio frequency identification is meant as what? A GPS. To find location. Where's my dog? A sister wrote me and said, my dog has an R.F.I.D chip. I said, well, maybe he can go buy some land for you.
The elite are doing it is they condition you by they condition the population by generations. First they told us it was for the, if we lose our pets, put them in the pets. Then it got into, not too long ago, the, cell phones and debit cards. And now they are proposing to have it as a computer currency.
Ever since the beginning of time, people have been buying and selling and using whatever currency was available. But today's digital economy is changing faster than ever, and currency has to change too. It is. Introducing Mint Chip from the Royal Canadian Mint, the evolution of currency. Money, as we know it, is fine for today, but tomorrow is a different story. Imagine a whole new breed of transactions that are smaller, faster, and virtually everywhere. That's where Mint Chip comes in. Mint Chip is currency in a digital form. Using a chip, you securely load value onto a smartphone, USB device, computer, tablet, or cloud. Maybe even some future device that doesn't even exist yet. Now you're ready to go. It's so easy that even a child can use it, especially for their allowance. Mint Chip is better than cash, since you can use it online. And merchants will easily and cost-effectively be able to offer digital content in the form of small and extremely small online transactions. Things like buying a song, a news article, or a nifty glow-in-the-dark laser for your favorite online game character. All for a few pennies, virtual of course. Plus, no personal data is required or exchanged, whether you're buying a decaf latte, a Canadian history article for school, or paying back that $10 you borrowed last week. Mint Chip is harnessing some of North America's best brain power. We are changing the future. You can too. Mint Chip from the Royal Canadian Mint. The evolution of currency.